I wonder why nobody don't like me. Or is it a fact that I'm ugly? I wonder why nobody don't like me. Or is it a fact that I'm ugly?
Hello and welcome back to another week of podcast Black and White, hosted by me, Dion. Hello. You should know who I am at this point if you're starting here. Why? But we have quite a few things to get through up at the top of the pod, so let's go ahead and just get into it. I am going to be in Turbo Pageant tomorrow. I'm sure if you guys have been listening before, you know all about the show, but tomorrow is my week of the revenge season of Turbo Pageant, and I am coming back with a truly amazing number, so I would so appreciate if you guys were able to tune into Turbo Pageant tomorrow, Tuesday, the 2nd of February, to twitch.tv/studsf, pay the cover, tip everybody that you would like to vote for, especially me, of course, because if you're listening to this, then you are on Team Shiksa, naturally, and just come out and support the show. It's a lot of fun. I want to move on to the next round and kick Pastiche's ass, so please turn out for that. Tomorrow, twitch.tv/studsf at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm doing all of this off the top of my head, so I'm really hoping it's all accurate. Pretty sure it is. In addition to that, in just a couple of weeks for Valentine's Day weekend, the Chicago Black Drag Council is hosting the Black Valentine Cabaret. It is a big drag festival that's essentially a series of all Black performers, and I will be featured on Sunday, the 14th, Valentine's Day proper. But make sure to tune in to twitch.tv/ChiBlackDrag. That's CHI Black Drag. No spaces, of course, because it's a URL, to tune into all of the shows starting on Friday, the 12th, with the Unfriendly Black Hotties presenting Jaguar by Victoria Monet, as well as a burlesque experience, Versus. Then on Saturday, there's going to be the Black Parade, Melanin, The Ball, and then on Sunday, there's going to be the Shits and Giggles show, the comedy show with me in it, as well as the big final Black Empowerment show. This is put on by an amazing group of people, including but not limited to Arigato, Rachel Slurs, Lucy Stool, The Vixen. The Black Drag Council is such an amazing group of artists and organizers coming together to create beautiful things. So please support that show the weekend of Valentine's Day, and you can head over to their Twitter and donate to the GoFundMe that makes sure that all of the performers are paid properly and well, which is a hugely important part of doing online drag, as we have discussed ad nauseum on this show. Lastly, before we get into the episode, I am recording this the morning following the death of pop icon, producer, and star Sophie, who it's hard to talk at length about this. This for me is the fourth, probably even fifth, like major trans death event of the last year, and there have just been so many losses in our community, and this is a huge one. This is somebody who has changed the music industry from the bottom up, and has inspired generation upon generation of trans artists and just trans people with their unbelievable and groundbreaking musical work. So these next couple of episodes are recorded in tribute to Sophie, and in tribute to all trans people out there trying to affect change in their artistic and creative respects, or just in the world around them at all. If you or someone you know needs help, please feel free to reach out to me, to the Trans Lifeline. Just be sure to be looking out for your trans friends at this particular time in history. While Sophie's death was not the result of suicide or self-harm or anything, these sort of events are so often marked by those things, so it's just important to continue to support and care for all of the trans people in your life. And that's all for my incoherent statement about that. So let's go ahead and get into the episode. This is a really, really fun one. I am so glad that I got a chance to sit down with Masha Potato. They are the icon that hosts Iconic, the drag show that took place at first in real life and then has moved over to virtual and does albums beginning to end. It is one of my favorite shows to be a part of and to watch. They are also a former competitor in Crash Landing in Chicago, and they are an all-around amazing person that I found out I had way more in common with than I thought, and I am so glad to leave this episode being close friends with them. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy this conversation with Masha Potato. Starting now. Okay, hello. We are in Masha Potato's episode. How is it going?
Well, it just started, so you tell me. I think it's going well so far.
How's it going with you? How is your day?
Good. You know, I would say I'm wearing my Cock Destroyer shirt, so I have Sunday, a day of rest.
But not for me.
But not for me. It really was not for me. I cleaned, I worked out, I made chili. I did so much.
Oh, that's so productive. Productive, but relaxing and very enriching. It would be.
Yes, a very diverse, range of things that I accomplished today.
I do love that Cock Destroyer merch. Did you watch? Let's get right into it. Did you watch Slag Wars?
I have not yet. It's on my list. I know I need to. I wish.
I just want to take this moment for everybody right now. Stop what you're doing. Don't listen to this podcast, period. Go to slagwars.com and watch that entire thing start to finish. It is like, even if you are just watching to watch Rebecca and Sophie fuck around with each other, it is brilliance. They blew up the competition reality show format. It was so good.
I love that you can just type in slagwars.com and go to it.
Yeah, that's the cool part, is that they provided it totally free of charge, and it's produced by men.com, and so they have their own little website and hosting for it. It is brilliant.
That's kind of sickening.
Yes. So let's go ahead and get right into the pod. I have already gotten us completely off topic. I am completely frazzled today.
Actually, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen with me a lot. That's the way I communicate, is tangentially.
Exactly. I fully expect it. But as everybody knows, Masha Potato is a Chicago drag performer, the host of Iconic. But I want to take this moment to have to help me get to know you a little bit better, as well as the audience. So I ask all of my guests to start off with their life story in 1 minute. I go ahead and put 1 minute on the clock, and I ask the guests to recap, the past. Do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I'm 28.
Yeah, recap the past 28 years. Put that down to about 60 seconds. Feel free to talk about your birth, places you've lived, selected traumas, family stuff, whatever kind of led up to where Masha Potato is today. But yeah, have a lot of fun with it. People usually end up telling a better story than they think they're going to.
Right, okay.
I have 1 minute on the clock, and we are going to get to know Masha a little bit better. And go.
Okay, so I was born in Evanston, Illinois. I grew up in Sauganash, which is the northernmost suburb of Chicago, but is really a suburb. And then we moved to Lincolnwood, so I mostly grew up in Lincolnwood, which is right by Skokie, if you are familiar with the area. My mother is from Sweden, came over when she was 18, so I'm half Swedish. My father is Jewish, and he's a North Chicago suburban Jew, very that. So that's the majority of my background. When I was a kid, we used to go to Sweden a lot to visit my family. The first time I met them, famously sat them all down and lip synced My Heart Will Go On for them. I used to wear my mother's heels. I very clearly wanted to do drag as a child, but didn't get to. My parents got divorced when I was 10 or 11. My mother is an alcoholic. We don't have a good relationship. Trauma is there. I went to school for theater. I started acting in 6th grade, so I did it through junior high, high school, college, graduated with a degree in acting and another degree in Spanish literature. Went to New York for a year, came back, did professional acting for a few years, and now I do drag.
And with 2 seconds left on the clock, that was so good. That was brilliant. God. See, I love doing this segment because not only does it allow me to write down bullet points of things for us to talk about, but people really end up impressing themselves. I love seeing the way people tell their life stories, and you fit so much content into that little amount of time. It was so funny. I have had so much fun with this segment because some people do like you did, where they're I am going to just highlight every important fact that's possible. Some people like talk about just their drag careers and everything. It brings out really interesting stories. So let's circle all the way back. So you are half Swedish, straight up from Sweden. So like as somebody who has never left North America, like tell me about a little bit about the Swedish lifestyle. Like what are the big like cultural differences that you experienced with that?
They're very nice. They're all very nice people. It's very funny. It's like they're very pleasant, and it's like that's why watching Midsommar is so funny, because like they are very just like you would never expect the Swedes to. Do you know what I mean? Do anything
they're
mean
just like
or wrong or weird.
Unnervingly sweet.
Exactly. It's very that. Yeah. It's very culturally that.
It's so funny because it's like it's even the most kind, like genial areas of the United States are still known as having like of just being like crappy Americans, and so like I wonder what happened culturally that like we just aren't as sweet and nice and lovely as them. I guess it's socialism, right?
I mean, I think that's a big part of it. You know, it must be that, and I mean. You know, we have a beautiful country, but when you go to Sweden, like the Swedish countryside is unmatched. It's unreal.
There's nothing like it. Okay, so tell me about that. So what did you guys get up to? You were younger when you were living in Sweden?
Yeah, and then so recently, the past couple of years, my sister and I have gone back to visit. My grandmother just turned on Thursday. She turned 98.
Oh my God!
So I still have family there. So we visit my grandma and my aunt.
Weren't they supposed to throw her off a cliff like 20 years ago or something?
No, what's funny is if she reaches 100, she gets a personalized telegram from the king, because they have a monarch. Do you know what I mean? Like, so they have a king, and we're all like,
that's so cool.
You call your grandma Mormor in Sweden, so we're all like Mormor. You have to get to 100, and she literally is like, she's like the one episode of SpongeBob with the chocolate mother who's like,
no, in the wheelchair.
I don't want to be 100.
Just biding her years until she gets that letter. She's gonna get it in the mail and just pass away so peacefully. Yes. So okay. That is so interesting. I guess I did not know nearly as much about Scandinavia as I thought. There's still a monarchy, and do they governmentally operate as a monarchy, or is it like UK where he's kind of a figurehead?
It's more like the UK, yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
That is so neat. And so, as far as the natural world, like, are you literally just coming across the world's most beautiful landscapes when you like open your door? Is that kind of the vibe, or is it very much like you're concentrated into the cities and people go venture out, sort of like the US?
You know, what's funny is it's sort of like I don't want to say a cock, but like I'll just say like a hand, like an arm, like that's you know, like this, it like hangs down, right? It sort of looks like a flaccid, you know, member.
Absolutely.
That's what it looks like. So, you know, the major cities are accumulated towards the bottom. Yes. And, you know, there's bigger and smaller ones. And what's funny is like a lot of them have a bus lane and a bike lane just built in everywhere.
I dream of that. I am a huge proponent of public transport. And also I have anxiety around transporting, like driving or riding a bike or being on the bus. And so I want everything far away from each other and safe and publicly funded.
Well, it's funny because in Chicago, it's like it's just like they pick and choose. Like some neighborhoods have nice bike lanes, and some it's just like you're on your own. Good luck.
That's how it is in Denver too. It's like we have some like beautiful ultra wide parkways, and then we have streets that aren't built for even one car. I feel like for people to navigate down and park in. So you came Okay, so we started out in Chicago, went to Sweden. Yep. We're coming back to the States for theater school.
Yes.
So tell me about, your theater experience. Are you more of a straight up theater person or musical theater, or where do your loves lie in that realm?
I would say in high school, I loved musical theater. Like in high school, the only music I listened to was like My Chemical Romance and musical theater.
Oh my God. Okay. We are going to have so much to talk about then. Because musical theater is like, unfortunately, the foundation of my entire identity and drag, especially drag. So, okay. In high school, you're loving musical theater. Okay, I'm going to separate this question into two because I think this is the best way to look at it. What are the old school shows that you loved? What were the modern shows that you loved? Like what were...
Oh, wow.
Because it's like, from my experience, the big thing for me, next to normal, was everything. like that was all of it. But then when I go back and look at classic shows, like any of the Leonard Bernstein canon, like I was obsessed with West Side Story, Candide as well, and then kind of found my musical theater niche in between them. So what were your old and new loves?
Fun. Okay. I think for new, I think Next to Normal absolutely, I think
Yeah.
changed me as well